When we think of Jamaica in the 18th and early 19th centuries, the dominant image is one of plantations, slavery, and colonial rule. The majority of black Jamaicans were enslaved, forced into brutal labor, and denied education. Yet within this system, a small group of free black people carved out a place for themselves as merchants, teachers, artisans, and in rare cases, intellectuals. Slavery in Jamaica officially ended in 1838, but not every black person before that was enslaved. A distinct class known as the free people of color existed as early as the late 1600s. Their freedom came in several ways. Some enslaved Africans were freed by their owners, often as rewards for loyal service or through the purchase of their own liberty. Others were born free because children of free women automatically inherited that status. And over time, some free black men and women accumulated wealth, bought land, and established businesses, creating a foothold in Jamaica's rigid social order. These free people of color were never fully accepted by white colonists. They faced racial restrictions on voting, property ownership, and participation in government. But wealth and education gave them status and created a buffer between themselves and the enslaved majority. One of the most striking examples of this early black elite is the story of Francis Williams and his family. Born in Jamaica around 1702 to free black parents, Francis grew up in Spanish Town, the island's capital. His father, John Williams, was a wealthy free black merchant, a rare and remarkable position for a man of African descent in the early 18th century. With his resources, John Williams was able to give his son opportunities that most black Jamaicans could only dream of. Francis was sent to England, where he received a classical education. Accounts vary, but some sources suggest he may have attended Cambridge University, an extraordinary claim for a black man in that era. Whether or not this was true, what is clear is that Francis Williams mastered Latin, mathematics, and literature at a high level. When Francis returned to Jamaica, he did something even more remarkable. He opened a school in Spanish Town for free black children. There he taught Latin, reading, writing, and mathematics, subjects usually reserved for the children of white elites. His poetry, written in Latin and English, reflected his education and often praised British colonial governors, though beneath the formal language lay the quiet proof that a black Jamaican could match European intellectual standards. His most famous surviving work, an ode to Governor George Haldane, demonstrated his mastery of classical poetic forms. But his very existence was perhaps his greatest achievement. In a society that insisted black people were inferior, Williams stood as living proof of their capacity